So you had on the list you wanted to go over branding, one of them was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things I like to go through first, just because it is quite an actionable step. So it's easy to incorporate what we're going to change. Have you seen that picture that I uploaded to our coaching page between mine and yours? Okay, so I'll
No.
bring that up now. Give me a sec. So this is for your Twitter. I broke down. We're gonna break down your Twitter page first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see I've made some highlights for different parts on your page. The green bits is things that I think are perfect, well, pretty much perfect. Red is a few things that we're going to change, and orange is things that have good potential, but we're going to make slight changes to, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, cool. So let's talk through what I think is really good first. You've got video editor in your bio and your name, which I think it's good because a lot of people don't put it in their name, and when you're like commenting on people's stuff, it's good to have that in there. Same thing with your bio, and I really like that you have 5 years of experience and 30 million views. The reason being, it's quantifiable achievements. Do you know what I mean by quantifiable? Cool, cool. So it kind of just like solidifies the fact that you're professional, right? Um, and the reason I've highlighted the following and followers is because have you looked into Twitter's algorithm recently? They've open sourced it.
Yeah, a few times.
Cool, cool. So I'm not sure if you've heard, but they started valuing that follower to following ratio. So if you follow like 2,000 people, it starts putting down your it stops recommending your posts as much. So it's good you've got that ratio between both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got more followers than following. Cool, cool. Um, do you have any questions about that?
Why you put red on motion designer?
Okay, okay. So the reason I've got red on motion designer is I think you should focus on either showing that you're a video editor or show that you're a motion designer.
But if I can do both of them,
Okay. So the reason I say that is if if you can show that you're good at two things, it's not as powerful as saying you're the best at one. So imagine so I can do motion design, right? But I show myself off as a video editor. And it's like you can if you look at my work, you'll find out that I can do motion design, right?
Mhm.
But when a creator looks for an editor or a motion designer, let's say I'm looking for a motion designer. I don't want a video editor. I want someone that only is good at motion design. If I want a video editor, I don't care if they can do motion design. I just want someone that can is the best at video editing.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
I
Hmm.
think. But
So
is so I should put all my systems to video editing. So I
I think you should, yeah. I think
yeah,
in
but
your work, show that you're a good motion designer, but don't advertise it. Just have it in your work. Does that make
uh,
sense?
I think so. But if I don't know, some guy will searching about motion designer and he will look at my page and the page said that I only do video editing. They close it or not? Because I don't saying that I'm motion designer, just a video editor.
If you could only choose one, which one would you rather do for the rest of your life? Just genuine question. Genuine, like I know it's a bit of a big question, but if you could only do one, which one would you enjoy more?
I don't know, maybe video editing, I think.
Okay. And
Mhm.
what makes you, you know, when you say, "Oh, if someone who wants a motion designer doesn't want me anymore," why does that scare you? Is it the
Because
money side or
yeah, the money side.
okay? This is something it's a mindset that I like to change with editors that I teach. It's there's more than enough creators out there that are looking for video editors.
Mhm.
you hear from everyone that like the competition is so high and video editing is saturated, but have you, I'm sure you have like a little cousin or someone that wants to be a YouTuber, right? Literally every single kid these days wants to be a YouTuber. There's not going to be a shortage of like creators, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
let me give you an example. I went out with my mates recently, and do you know what a gurdwara is? It's so I'm Muslim, so my place of prayer is like a mosque, but I have some Sikh friends, and the gurdwara is their place of worship, and like just to learn about their culture, their religion, I went there, and I was
Mm-hmm.
speaking to some of the kids there, just like socializing and stuff like, and there were about six of like little kids, maybe like 8, 9, 10 years old. Bro, five of them wanted to be YouTubers. And
Cool.
like I was so interested because it's like, damn, I work in that, and it's like to see that there's that many people that are so interested in it, and then you hear video editors saying, "Oh, there's not enough creators."
Mm-hmm.
So I think that you trying to capture both markets of video editing and motion design will end up you not making it big in either. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think yes.
So I think that it's better to be the best at video editing or the best at motion design, not good at both, like half good at both. Does that make sense?
Mm. Okay. And what's the problem with LinkedIn?
The link tree.
The link. Yeah.
Okay. So this goes along with the orange bit next to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that you're using the location section as like a call to action. I recommend that a lot. What I would recommend is having one link. So you know how you have connect/portfolio? Have one sort of call to action to one exact link, because the aim with this link is it's in your face, right? As soon as someone goes in your page, this is the first link they're going to see. And you want to make sure you have as little resistance to that link. So if you go on my page, I believe it's either to my free presets or my editing pack, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no like second click, because every single click that you have to convince someone, they're more likely to click off. I mean, it's simple.
Um,
It's just like retention, right? It's like you have to go on Linktree, then your portfolio. What you want is portfolio.
because you have two links. So this is the reason why you have two links on your
Mhm.
portfolio
Because you want,
profile.
if someone wants to get something, they shouldn't be able to use that. They don't need to use their brain. It's just if you want portfolio, like click here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, so I should make two links, like one
I
for
think I think you
portfolio
should only
in
have one. Just
one.
have your portfolio. I
And
don't
if
think the
people
other.
wanna connect,
I You have your DMs open, right?
yeah, I
That's all
have.
you need.
Ah, okay.
Because you have your Instagram, I believe. You have quite a few
Yeah,
links, right? I don't
yeah, I have.
I don't think they bring as much value as for the confusion that they bring. I don't think they bring much value to have your Insta and then your book a call and stuff. And Twitter, it's already there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the main link in there is your portfolio. So why not just have it straight on your account? Get rid of that resistance from Linktree to portfolio, so they don't give them that chance to click away.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will make it.
Mhm. And okay, and helping video editors and creators get results. I love You're one of the very very few people that I've seen that put something like this, which is really good. This is one of the first things that I tell people to do, where it's don't tell people like just who you are. What will you do for people? Which is really good. You put this here. In fact, I think it's so good. I think you should put it on the first line of your bio,
Mm-hmm.
because your name has video editor.
This is the reason. So smart tip. Mm-hmm. So put it in the first letter. Okay, makes sense.
Mhm. So you want that like result, like proven for results in the first line. And helping video editors and creators get results is a really good start. Think if you could specify what results. Does that make sense? So
Like more subscribers and more like this stuff.
exactly, Peter. Yeah. So yeah. So it's like because results. Okay, it's results, but what does that mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, let's specify. So like you said, subscribers and stuff. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about video editors and creators, we're going to talk about that in a bit when we're going into the actual tweets. Okay, just to keep that in your mind. And I believe and that orange arrow, is that on that picture? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a small thing, but I would swap around 30 million in 5 years, just because 30 million sounds better than 5 years. Does that make sense? Like, people understand what 30 million views means, but people don't really understand, like, years in editing. What does it mean? 30 million views, everyone understands. So I would move that first.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Would you agree with that? Or
Yeah, I think yes, because for people doesn't matter how many years I worked. They want result.
And views is exactly that, yeah. Cool. And just a general question. Right now, what's your goal with your Twitter page? Is it to attract creators or editors?
I can't attract all of them.
Do you remember what I said with video editing and motion designing?
But
you know where this is going, right?
yeah. My friend told me that if I will bring some editors, the creators will go to me because my post will grow up. I don't know if you understand me well.
I understand what you mean. It's you're saying that if you get both, and you get everyone rather than just one of them.
Mm-hmm.
This is I forgot which book I read it in. I read it in some book. It was this one. Where is it? This one. So do you know Saurabh Gupta on Twitter?
Yeah, screenshot time.
Yeah, so we hopped in a call and he recommended that book. Bro, I bought it in like literally while we were on call. I bought it, right? And I read through it, and it talked about if you try to market to everyone, you end up targeting no one.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you understand from that?
Yeah, so I should make content only for video editors or creators.
Exactly. In fact,
And
I'm gonna show you.
Who are making type of content with only creators? Because I not seen this.
I can explain that for you. So if you look further down my page, not even too long ago, maybe like a couple of months, I wasn't really sharing tips to editors. It was always like content, right? Like, here's my work. And that's attractive to creators. It's a creator will see that and think, let me hire him, rather than editors saying, let me learn from that. Like, of course, some editors came along the way, but creators found the most value of like, oh, that could be my video. And this was actually okay. So I use this app called Good Notes, right? So it's like a note taking app. Is that backwards? It is, right? Yeah, but essentially it was, I spent ages just figuring out, do I go, okay, I'm so sorry it's backwards, but that says editor centric marketing, and this says, okay, well, I had editor centric marketing and creator centric marketing. Creator centric meaning my content is most valuable to creators. Okay, maybe a few editors might naturally like me, but I'm providing value to creators. Editor centric marketing, I provide value to editors. A couple of creators might like me, but I'm providing value to editors. Mm-hmm. If you focus on one hyper specific target, you end up attracting that whole niche rather than like, oh, a couple of people here and there. And
Mhm.
being a professional in one very specific niche is more valuable than targeting a little bit of everywhere. So that's why I would recommend that. Choose whether you want to provide value to editors or creators.
What's the better, the creators or video editors?
I think creators is better until you've built up a portfolio where it speaks for yourself. So I only switched over to, you saw those notes, right? That was only about 2, 3 months ago. And that was after 2 years of editing. So I built my portfolio up, I built that client base up, and now I have that reputation where people trust me, right? I think that creators, until you've established like a really good client list, I think creator centric is the way to go, and you'll pick up a few editors naturally. But
Mhm.
I think creators is the way to go.
Mhm. So creators will bring you more money on start, and
At
later
the
video
beginning,
editor.
100%, because with editing, you need a reason for people to trust you, right? And the best way to build that up, it takes time, but the best way to build that up is by working with creators. And you do that by marketing to creators. So
Mhm.
so your bio, focus it on what creators will get. So like you said, the views, the subs.
Mhm.
Your page has a lot of potential, bro. I'm watching what you post recently, and it's good to see. You've seen a lot of
I'm
growth recently, right?
yeah.
That's good.
I'm currently doing post about orientation, and this is for content creators or video. I think most of content creators.
I, that's what I was thinking as well. It's You've got a mix right now, which I like, but I think that long term you would see a lot more success if you chose one.
Mhm. Okay, I think I will work with creators. I think.
Have you heard of this concept called dream customer or dream
No.
client? Okay. It's this concept that, like what I've been saying all this time, it's you pick one very specific person to market to. Like literally, you give this person like a name, you give them like hobbies, you give them like how what age are they, um, how much free time do they have, what type of videos do they like to watch, what are their goals, what are their fears, like what are their pain points, and then anything you post, just make it so that it values this one person.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we have this feeling that, oh, like if we don't post this, then this person won't like it, but then if we post that, then that other person won't like it. But when you target one person, you naturally will attract tens of thousands, because like this sounds a bit rude, but there are a lot of NPCs online. Like, do you know what I mean? I'll be wrong, Peter. There's a lot of NPCs online, and when you target one person, there's literally like 100,000 that are just exact same as them, that have the same hobbies, that have the same like financial situation, that have the same hours in school. So if you hyper target this one person, these 100,000 people will love your content. But if you target five, or if you target 10, or if you target a whole niche, you're like slightly like making these everyone happy. And no one really wants that. They want to feel like genuinely cared for and loved for. And that only comes when you're targeting this one person. That's why I'm saying go for the video editors as well, like the creators, and just say you're a video editor.
Mhm.
But I want you to look into that. Dream Search up Dream Customer when you're done with this call. Dream Customer.
Mhm. Sounds good. Sounds cool, I think.
Cool, cool. And oh yeah, and the arrow. I like the arrow in your banner. That's another thing. I really like that, man. That's something. It works. It's actually really effective. I never realized it, but I feel like I don't know why I haven't incorporated it yet. I just haven't managed to like. I tried it and then it just looked really awkward for mine. But I like yours, man. It works really well.
Think.
And I think that's everything. The last thing is just the commissions open. I would remove that, to be honest. Just
Why?
because people assume your commissions are open, bro. Like when they see video editor, they just assume it's open. Does that make
Ah,
sense?
seriously?
Yeah, man. Like they'll DM you if they're interested.
Okay. I'll remove this.
And worst case scenario, people just be like, "Yo, bro, your commission's open." You say, "Yeah." Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
That's your commissions being open or closed. You can get that done in DMs, but don't clutter up your bio with it. Like even if my commissions, like personal commissions, are closed for the month, right? Just because I'm working on someone else's content. I'm in a meeting, bro. Yeah, go on. Let's see if close my door, please. All right, thanks. Sorry about that. Um, so this goes for whether they're open or closed. It takes up such a large part of your bio that even if it's closed, let someone DM you and you say, bro, it's opening in this much time.
okay. Got
Do
it.
you ever close your commissions?
No, right now, no.
Okay. Just a tip, if you do, don't publicize it.
Okay.
Do you understand why, or is that something?
Yeah. I understand.
Okay. Okay, cool. And that is all for branding. Um, Generally, the tweets you're posting are really good. It's like, just keep in mind that when you find something that's winning, run with it. Like, if you find something's doing well, like a tweet does well, and you genuinely enjoy making tweets like that, like your video editors must know this principle of storytelling. It did really well for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost reuse that structure. So things like, I see, okay, use the video, use the media tweet. That seems to be doing well, so keep using that. That 1, 2, 3 structure, okay, that does well. Use that next time. So just these things, when you see they do well, keep it in mind and then do it again. Obviously for a different topic, but just run off winning ideas. Because right now you've just started like creating more posts and content, right? Like recently. So this time is just about experimenting, bro. Like have fun with it and just learn what works and what doesn't. But in terms of
Mm-hmm.
posts, you're doing really well, bro.
Okay. So I don't need to change anything.
Mm-hmm. Just keep in mind that dream customer, yeah, and like, will creators find value in this as well?
Okay.
Cool. So are you satisfied with that branding section?
Yeah, I think it's all good.
Perfect. And if you ever feel like you need to interrupt me, bro, go for it. Like, I think there's so much value in you just like getting your thoughts out there rather than I talk on and then you forget, right? You also talked about let's go for talking to clients because that's one of the first things you brought up, right? Tell me, what's your process right now? Like, just tell me what it looks like. So let's say I was a creator, what would you do,
Mm,
like from start to finish?
they text me, said, "Hey, mate, I have videos like this. Can you make it?" I say yes. This is video. It's complicated because two. It's cost 600, and they said, "Okay, goodbye, my friend, and go out." What should I do with this?
How often does that happen?
Mm, five times a day, I think.
And how many do you reach out to?
Hmm?
How many people do you reach out to?
I? None.
Have you considered reaching out? Is that what you did at the beginning?
Yeah, at the beginning, yes, but now I'm not searching about clients right now because I'm posting tweets and make branding my branding. I think people who talk to you firstly, the most important clients, then you
100%.
will talk
I
to
agree with
them.
that. I do agree with that. How did you used to go looking for clients when you newer?
At the beginning, for like see this YouTuber with million subscribers, I will subscribe at his Twitter page, put likes for 5 days, and then I will text him on DM like, I'm this creator. I see you have videos like this. Maybe we can work together to improve them, and something like this. Maybe some clients on Upwork, on LinkedIn, on Discord, and
I would
so
say
places
focus on
like
Twitter,
this.
by the way. Focus on Twitter. Twitter is like the gold mine for video editors, bro.
Now, how about Upwork? Because many business clients want to hire anyone on Upwork, and business people have more money than specific YouTuber.
I think this comes back to provide value to one person. I've tried that whole like, oh, go for businesses, go for real estate agents, but what I found is going into a completely new venture where I don't have much experience. I don't have that leverage that I do in YouTube, where it's like, oh, I've worked with this YouTuber, that YouTuber, that YouTuber. The real estate agent doesn't care. Big YouTubers do. So I have leverage here. That's why I think that just because there are opportunities on Upwork, if you already have leverage in YouTube, you'll find better success going for more bigger YouTubers. So I would suggest staying on Twitter if you already have the experience and you've kind of got that momentum with YouTubers. I would say stick with that. And Discord, I'll be honest, it's just everyone's paying like 50 and you're gonna get there's gonna be 100 editors that like, bro, I tried hiring an editor, I got 150 DMs in an hour, like, and then I was thinking, bro, I would have never stood a chance if I tried applying to a job. So that was my realization that Discord isn't it. But I would say Twitter is the move because your branding is, like you said, is almost like your portfolio, right? It's like people see this guy's good branding and it's kind of that trust that they have, and I'll DM him. But back to reaching out to creators. I think a lot of editors stop once they start getting a consistent stream of clients. But I think there is still value in going out of your way to look for clients, but in a different way to what you did. I think the way you were doing it earlier is very high investment, like in terms of time. Would you agree? Like you would have to actually like them and then wait and then remember, crap, I need to actually message this guy back. The best way I found is just Twitter search. Do you use Twitter search like for finding clients? Bro, you need to help on that. It's
Twitter search, yes.
yeah. I have a This is actually okay. I'm working on a course, right? And this is part of the course. Like it's just a very small section, but I'll share it with you now because we're already in this call. Value stack.
Twitter search, it's like just type on search Twitter like something like hire video editor and
Yeah. And
that's
and
all.
obviously because I've been doing it for like 2 years, I found the terms that do really well. Do you know what I mean? And then there's ways of filtering it as well. So let me. Can I have your email real quick? Like a Gmail. Do you use Notion actually? Sorry.
Notion, I can. Okay.
I'll just share it with you now.
Yeah, I see now. Video editor, hiring, looking, need content editor.
Cool. So if you just click on those links, it's like, and then you can change. Have you ever used it? Well, if you don't use search, you won't know it. But you can actually filter Twitter searches with min_faves :number. And what that does, it gets rid of those like botty or like it kind of just gives you like the decent results, right? And the way I recommend you do it is go through this and control click the profile pictures of the ones that you're going to reply to, and just send this a basic like, hey, so you're looking for an editor, here's my portfolio. The reason you do it like this, it's very low investment, right? Like you don't have to follow and then wait in 5 days, right? don't expect too much from this, but what I'm saying is that it does generate leads for very little time. Does that make sense? It's just, how do I explain this? It's have you heard of the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that. It's like just doing this like stupidly simple task. Don't spend ages on it, but just spend like 10 minutes just like quickly gathering the accounts, then quickly sending the messages. That'll get you like 80% of the results from this method. Don't spend like an hour doing it a day. So I would recommend doing that for mass outreach, because with outreach, there's strength in numbers. Like the more you do, even if maybe 1% will even reply, but if you have 1,000, you'll have more people replying, right? Another thing is, okay, so tell me about you say that they say like, okay, like you say your prices and then they say okay, bye. Up to that point, how much do you typically talk back and forth?
Back and forth.
Back and forth meaning like one person messages, then you reply, then he replies, then you reply, and then you're asking all these things. Do you
Couple
typically
hours.
Okay, and would you say it takes you a lot of time out of your day to have a conversation with just one creator? Okay, just like we said before, the Pareto principle, we want to get most of the conversation done as quickly as possible. So I call this establishing expectations early. That's why I like to call it. It's establish your rough price, your style, your pricing, and deadlines. You want to get these three done as quickly as possible. Like, get them done in the conversation. Does that make sense? Because let's say they don't like your style. Okay, you were never meant to work together. If they don't like your pricing, okay, never meant to work together. If you can't meet their deadlines, at least you save your like mental health, right? So if one of these three things you and the creator don't match, you weren't gonna work together anyways. You might as well end the conversation quickly, and just finding out what they want here. Does that make sense? So our goal with any conversation is to establish expectations, is to find out what style they want, roughly their budget. Don't ask for their budget. Say your pricing within the first few messages. Like, yeah, I usually charge around this. Is that okay? If so, like, what style do you like? If so, do you have footage ready? And that's another thing we're gonna talk about. It's a bit dark, but I'm gonna teach you it. And then deadlines as well. Like roughly when are we thinking about getting that done? So you want to get this done within the first few messages, bro. Just so you don't waste time on every creator, because you're gonna be like hitting up hundreds, right? Like over your career, you're gonna be messaging thousands of creators. Imagine you spend an hour on every single one compared to 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
So establishing expectations early. And I'm going to ask this because I think it's happened to me a lot, and a lot of creators I know. Have you ever had these moments where a creator accepts a price and they don't follow through? So like you're waiting for payment and then they just ghost. Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to teach you something. I forgot which book it was. This book. I read this about 6 months ago. It's a fat book, bro. Okay. If you want,
I need to read it all.
Okay. So it's called Influence, and it's about how do you persuade people and make them agree with you. Okay. And
it's
there's this
a kind of manipulation.
Yeah, it is. But we can use it in a good way. So there's this one thing called, I want to make sure I quote it right. Okay, it's called commitment and consistency. So how do you make people commit to what they said? And a huge part is almost like a down payment, but with emotional investment rather than money, because people don't like putting money down, right? But how could we almost emulate that money being put down, but when it's not money. So what can a creator give you that isn't money but is emotional investment? I want to see if you could think about that. What could a creator give you that makes them emotionally invested into you as an editor?
Publicity status.
So
Like, no, status, I mean, I'm working with this creator and this, I don't know, Mr. Beast. And all people know Mr. Beast and I'm working with them. He give me status.
So that's called social proof. That is a huge part of it. That's in that book as well. So what I was referring to is, it's a bit weird, but you want to get the footage as soon as possible.
Why?
Okay, because once they give the footage, they've gone out of their way to give you something. They've invested into you. They've invested their time into you as an editor, into that conversation, right? Like they've had to get it into a drive, turn on the link sharing to everyone, and then send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
That small act of putting some down payment of like time makes them more invested. Like this probably makes like a tiny difference, but I've seen it works. Like especially when closing like slightly higher paying clients. So get your expectations early, and the way you say this, so it's not like awkward. So it's not like, bro, can you send me footage so like I can manipulate you into paying me like a shit ton of money. What you do is just be like, could I check through the footage before we settle payment? Something small like that,
Mm-hmm.
like just so I can make sure it's something I can definitely work with, or do you know what I mean? So it's a subtle thing, but I've seen it converts clients really well. And this is why I do these on private calls, bro. Imagine I tell like out loud, like, by the way, I like manipulate you guys, just so you know, like, but no, but such is life. And then after that, once you got it, just be like, yeah, bro, I've checked. Actually, check out the footage, and then be like, yeah, bro, like, and then send a payment link through. But I found that small step of getting that emotional investment does wonders, bro.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I think that's. Do you have anything else concerning talking to clients that you have issues with? That's everything I've have notes on, because I think that's all. But if there's anything,
Maybe you have something like structure, how to talk to them, something like this.
okay. I think that comes back.
Structures of work, what to say the clients
Mhm.
first, second.
Okay, most people say to have your portfolio linked in the message. What I found works really well, and we've already done this, so you don't need to worry about it, is the portfolio on your first link in bio. Like the link in bio. Because how many times has someone DM'd you, and you just check out their profile without thinking? Do you know what I mean? Every creator will check out your profile before DMing you. They know what your work
Mm.
is like. You don't like, as soon as you DM them, they're gonna check out your work anyways. So you don't need to add it, like throw it in their face wall. So I found something as simple as hey, put their name. So hey X, I saw you're looking for an editor. I'd love to discuss it. And then when they see that, they'll go on your page, see your portfolio, which is why it's really important to have the direct link. And then if they're interested, they message back. If they're not, they ignore you. But because you haven't invested all your time into it, it doesn't come to you at a loss, because we did that quick outreach rather than spending 5 days doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the best way to structure the first message. So just like like quantity is key. After that, it comes back to establishing expectations. So if they say they sometimes they won't check it out, and they'll say, yeah, can I see some work? Simple, just link your portfolio, and then the first thing you want to ask is about the style that they want. So the reason we establish expectations is, okay, this is kind of rare, but have you ever had a client that didn't like your work after you sent it?
I don't think so.
Okay. That's good. You will inevitably have one. I didn't for the first 1.5 years, and then I had one for like this guy that had like 6 mil. So it's like I want you to learn this lesson now so that you don't make it on a big client like me. Um, the reason he wasn't happy with it, it's not because the video was bad. It's because it wasn't in the style he wanted. And I made the stupid mistake of not establishing that expectation at the beginning. So before you talk about payment, anything, establish what style do they want. And if they're not sure, just be like, do you have a reference video? Like, it could be their own, or it could be like another creator that they like. But having that reference not only makes sure that they're happy by the end, you know how much you can charge. It's like if they want some stupidly simple video, it makes sense to charge a couple hundred, like 300-400, right? But then if imagine you say 300-400 and then they send a Mr. Beast video, bro. Like then you're in some sticky situation where you're like, oh, I meant 800, bro. My bad. So the first thing you want to get out of the way is style. So they replied back, oh, that's awesome, dude. What style are you looking for? Do you have a style in mind? Something like that.
Yeah, I know this fact. It's when you want to be better, but even if it's better, he needs worse, but similar to style he need.
Mm-hmm.
Something like
Exactly, Peter. Yeah, because otherwise it's in his mind he just wants like an awesome video, but he doesn't even know what an awesome video is in his head. So when he sees it, he's gonna have such high expectations where no human could compete. So you need to really like set it in stone. What does this guy want?
Show examples and all the stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like ask him to show examples of what he wants.
Okay.
And same, and then you repeat the process for deadlines and then pricing. So now you have the main two things, and then you can understand what you should charge. And
Okay, and what about the moment when you were already working together? Like, okay, send your files, got it.
already working. So you've done videos together in the past, do you mean?
Yeah.
Or okay. At that point, I think once you get a banger video done for someone, it's so easy, bro. It's like it's literally like, hey, do you have another video ready? I'd love to work on one. After that, there's no more manipulation needed, bro. Your work speaks for itself. But yeah, but I think getting the client's the hardest. Like once you have one, just make sure it's a good video, and like they're yours now, bro. But
Okay, I think it's all about this question.
okay, that's good. That's good. We did put quite a few topics, and normally I like to go through. I think you've noticed by the timing, I get through like 2 to 3 topics per session, just because I want to go in depth, right? I don't want to just like read off my notes and then just like get through like 6 different topics. So I have viewer retention. I have the framework for increasing my prices, and I have. You did talk about sales funnels, but I don't think that you'll find value in that right now. I don't think at this stage it would be beneficial for you. I can explain why, but would you like me to? Okay. The reason I think a sales funnel wouldn't be good for your brand long term, and I say this, Peter, like not because I don't want you to make money or some shit, like genuinely, I was going to sell products a year ago. Looking back at it, I'm so glad I didn't, because when you're smaller, people look at you like, oh, he's some scammer, even if you aren't. Does that make sense? So when people see like someone who hasn't built themselves up sell a product, they automatically think, nope, scammer. Guys, look at him, like he's scamming. So that's why I would suggest build your audience first. So that's why I don't think we're going to go over sales funnel now. But there is an entire process for sales funnels.
I need to wait about 6 months or something like this.
You'll know when you're ready because you'll consistently have people that look up to you. Use that metric. And if you want me to, like, sales funnels is something that I bought a shit ton of, like I bought like courses to learn it. And I think I can teach you, it's just it wouldn't be beneficial for you right now. Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Yeah, okay, okay.
So between retention and, like we talked about, increasing your prices, like the framework I use for that. What how much do you charge roughly right now, by the way?
Uh,
Like consistently you
to
get clients.
300 to what 1,000, about this range. It depends about how video is.
How what price do you consistently
Uh,
get clients at? Most
typically,
consistently.
typically,
Yeah.
400,
Okay.
3 or 400.
You've hit that point where this is probably the hardest part for me. It was the hardest part to get past. We can talk about how to increase that, or we could talk about retention. I think we'll go over one of those today.
How to increase the money? I
Okay,
think.
Peter, bag chaser. I like that. All right. So, how have you? You said you tried charging 600 and it just doesn't work, right?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
In the
People said
past.
that's it too much and go away.
Mhm. Right now, what's your client list looking like? So, how many people do you edit for and consistently? Because I think your main goal shouldn't be to charge really high amounts for one off. It should be charge really like a good amount for two or three creators that are paying you every single week. That's your goal. It's not to have like one client that pays you $1,000 and you're never to be seen again.
Yeah.
So, do you have consistent clients right now, like that you work for every week, every few weeks?
Right now, no. Right now, no. I have a World Wide Web, but I am not working with them now.
Okay. And
I'm
how
looking for new opportunities.
how much were they pay? How recent was that? Sorry.
For how much I will charge for months?
No, no. How recent was that? So, was it a long time ago, or was it?
About 3 months ago.
Okay, okay. And how much were you charging them per video?
300.
Okay, so we're gonna say that's your baseline, right? Because I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the best way to know your pricing at any time. It's how much can you charge consistently to one creator. The how have you ever used like a framework for pricing? So like a method that you use rather than just like 600 suddenly. So what have you
I want
tried
to
before?
charge about. I want to charge about six
Okay, okay,
hundred right now.
okay. So the way I've done it, this is how I think you'll notice most editors get stuck around 200, right? 200, 250. This is a method I used to go from 200 to about 6, 700. It takes time. It does take time. That's one thing I'm going to tell you now. It's not like overnight you go from 2 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
The way you do it is you build a client base where you have a lot of like two, three, four people that are consistently paying you 200, right? Or 300 in your case. And what you do is anyone you new that comes along, you charge 50 more. So don't change anyone else. Yeah. You charge 50 more. And you keep doing that for anyone that comes, anyone new. And you'll come to a point where you're like, bro, this is too much work. I can't keep up. I don't have enough hours in the day for this. What you do then is you don't touch these people that are doing 50 more. You don't touch these 350 guys. Yeah? The people you change is your old clients, the one that's paying you the least, you add 100. So you go to 400 for one of them. The person that's paying you
And
the least.
if and if I'm not working with anyone right now, can I take
At first,
600 right away?
I don't think you should because you don't have that leverage, and if you try that, your income will suddenly drop. So the method that I used, what it does is it takes a lot longer, and you're not going to have these sudden spikes of income. But what it means is that your income will never drop to zero. That was my plan.
Mhm.
Like, the only concern I had is I don't want like a dry month. I want to always have someone I'm working with. I think that if you aren't working with everyone at 300 right now, you should start this method at 200 or
Mhm.
even like 150. It's like it's a bit of an ego killer, but I think long term it would mean you not only have consistent income, but you're able to build that portfolio. So let's say you start at 200, right? You get however many creators for 200. Charge 200 for every single person. And then when you feel like, oh, I'm kind of getting near my capacity, like I don't have much free time, keep working for these 200 people, and the next person you work with, charge 250. Now, anyone that new comes through, you charge 250. Does that make sense? So you've got all these 200 creators, and then one 250. And then
Mhm.
you add another 250. So anyone new, of course, if someone says yes, they pay 250. When you hit that point when you're like, I can't take this, you go to your least paying clients, because sometimes they'll be like 190 or 180, whatever. You go to your least paying client or any of the 200s, and you say, I charge 300 now. Like, and if they say no, a lot of people are scared they're gonna say no. If they say no, that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
That's the hardest thing. It's that most people don't understand that naturally, because it's scary. It is scary, and Peter. You're one of the few people that like understand like it's okay to lose that client. First of all, they're not paying you much. Second of all, you're gonna choose the one that you don't like working with that much. Choose the one that you don't like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you have some free time. So now you spend that time looking for more clients, keep getting the 250s, and as you get more and more 250 clients, you keep repeating the process. You like get rid of the 200s. You tell them you're charging 300, and then they slowly go. And now your entire client list is 250 and 300. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And now we repeat the process. So now, once you have a comfortable client list where your income's consistent and these guys are giving you weekly videos or however often you do, anyone new that comes along that hits you up on Twitter or you reach out to, your new price is 350 or 300, whatever you feel is good for that time. So if you have like mostly 250 people, charge 300. If you have mostly 300 people, charge 350. But you slightly increase your prices for anyone new. And what do you think is going to happen next? Same process. It's just someone new comes in, go to your lowest paying client, add a little bit, add 100. So now you're charging 400, 450. And the process continues until you slowly build up. And you're going to have periods where it's like, oh crap, everyone's like coming so fast and I'm already at 400. Or like I'm already at 350 and like everyone. And then you're going to have a slow period where like no one's saying 400, no one's saying yes to 400, no one's saying yes to 450. It's like, what the hell? But what this method does is your income doesn't drop. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is the main goal, to not drop the okay.
So it gives you a safety net. And that's the method that bro no like this is the shit I had to like find out myself, do you know what I mean? And that's what I think you should do, bro. I think that's the only method to do it so your income doesn't go to zero and you make a shit ton from each video.
Okay.
But yeah, bro. You have a lot of potential, I think. If you work on building up your name in the community, a lot of potential, bro. Genuinely. Like, and then we move on to our sales funnels and you make your shit ton of money as well.
Maybe we can work together.
Of course,
Maybe.
man.
Who knows? Art list or epidemic sound? What do you think?
Epidemic. Not even a question for me, man. I think that, especially considering that I've built all my libraries in Epidemic, like you have the pack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like all of that is just, you can't find that a pack like that online where everything's nicely sorted and the songs are actually useful. And bro, I don't go. I haven't searched for a song in a year, bro. I just use the same pack. So I think Epidemic.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, bro. What would you say something the best thing that you learned in this session is?
I think I can't do this because I can't speak it. I have it in mind, but I can't speak it because my English it's
Go
a
for it,
barrier.
bro. Honestly, you keep saying your English ain't that good, bro. It's fine. Like you're doing well. Yeah.
Because I'm not talking at all.
No, you are.
I'm
I promise you.
talking
No, no, you're doing well, bro.
and this Russian accent
It's fine, bro. Don't worry.
sounds. I think it sounds fun.
Huh?
I think my Russian accent it sounds fun.
It is nice. You got a nice accent, bro. But the way you communicate is English is like it's more than like fine, bro. Like it's good.
Okay.
But yeah. So what was the thing that you would say you've learned that's of most value?
Mm, most value about branding. About branding, I think the most
Okay.
value.
Cool, bro.
Because I should to make the good branding. I don't know how to do this. My Twitter is about 1 month. I don't know marketing. No. I don't know nothing. My friend told me that you have any social media stuff. I said no, I don't have. They said you're stupid, Peter. What are you doing? Stop making stuff. Start making stuff on Twitter. And I said okay. And 1 month, I think
You've done
four
well for 1 month,
thousand.
bro.
Yeah, for 1 month, I think it's good. And yeah, okay.
I think I had like 20 for the first month, and like 15 of them were my friends. No, man, you've
Okay.
got good friends. You've got good friends to be telling you that.
hmm Maybe you have any tips for me to make me better? Maybe something I don't know.
In terms of growth, make sure you're constantly trying new things out. And when you have something that's doing well, capitalize on it. So if you see a specific type of content's doing well, make more of it. Does that make sense? It's an
hmm
obvious thing, but so many people are scared to like repurpose or things like that, right? So I think you noticed the Sona preview did really well a couple of months ago. Like it got like 300 likes, which at the time for me was really good at the time. So I repurposed that into this thing where, oh, let me teach editors how I did that style. Let me teach them how to do smooth keyframes. And that one video got like 700, 800 likes. So if you see something's doing well, make more of it. Don't try to stay away from it because you've done it before.
hmm
And have a value first approach where don't worry about will this get likes. Worry, will people find this piece of content that I'm posting valuable? Will it impact their lives? That's the only thing you need to think when you're posting something.
hmm I think the main secret of success in Twitter it's deliver the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's people see post and post do nothing to himself. He don't like it, don't repost it. And if you message something good to him, especially like how to I don't know make good rendition or how edit like this YouTuber or something like this,
Mm-hmm.
he will like. And this method will this method is helping me to growing up like this post to editing that meme video editors and motion designers, because every people has the same problem, and I just like, wow, this is, I think, cool. It brings to people and guys, and oh, hello. I don't know how to say
It's so
it. Oh my
relatable.
god.
It's so relatable. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's really because at heart it's like everyone just everyone online wants that feeling of belonging, of feeling understood and feeling that they're not alone in having a certain problem. And when you can be that person that solves that problem or brings them into a community where they're respected and they find value in, you reap the benefits and they will too. And I think having that
Hmm.
approach of like, don't gatekeep shit. Like, I think that's the best thing that my parents raised me with. It's like, if you have something good to share, share it, bro. Like, don't be scared that like, oh, everyone's gonna find out, bro. Like, it benefits the other people, it benefits you. Just share what you know in it, and that's what I'm trying to do
Hmm.
with my editing stuff now.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that comes about the end of our call. So we've gone over quite a lot today. We've gone over the branding. We've gone over talking to clients and a little bit of the darker side, but it works. And we've talked about the framework for increasing your prices in a way that doesn't affect your income, negatively affect your income. It can only go up from there. But yeah, by the way, after this, would you be able to like quickly just record like a testimonial? Just it helps me a ton, bro. Like just a quick
Okay.
like few minutes, just saying like, this is what we went over. This is what I learned. Like this is good. If yeah.
Okay.
um,
Where will I
um,
drop it to you?
you can just send it to me on Discord or something, bro. Like just record
Okay.
it and send it on Discord. Do you have OBS and stuff? Cool, cool. And main thing is be honest. Like I genuinely don't feel like you have to make it nice just for me. Like whatever you liked, say it, and then whatever you didn't, say if you want. Like if there's anything. Um, but
Mhm.
yeah, bro. Is there anything that you didn't really like this session, or is it all good?
No, all good, I think.
It's good to hear, Peter. Thank you. And
Okay, thank you too.
okay, take care, man. It was really good talking.